Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Episode 4 now. Gee, it's going very quickly. All these episodes are flying now. But no, welcome to the Eyes of the Panthers, where pucks fly, tempers flare, and the AIHL proves week after week that logic just hasn't got a place in the British hockey. Joining me today, again, we've got Zach the Stats. We've got Chris on the case. And finally, a return, we've got Dave. David is back. We'll start off. We'll start on a low note, and review Storm game. What did that finish at? 6-3. That finished 6-3 to us. The scorers were Brendan Harris, David Nile, Mitch Fossier. I'm not naming all theirs because I don't care about them. No, there's Gary Hayden twice, Brady Gilmore, Chase Harrison, Caleb Ergang, and then Joseph Nardi. All those names are probably butchered. Right, let's start off with that one. Didn't go well. We had Grande in.
For a bit.
Yeah, for a bit before he got relieved. Wasn't a strong start. It was a strong start. Sorry, we scored really quick. By Harris again. Didn't score when I had him for Fantasy League, but he scores now. But yeah, he scored, and then it got redacted. It got taken away, didn't it? Was it that? No. It was the Manchester Storm goal that got taken away.
Yeah.
Because it came off the puck, didn't it? It came off the shoe.
No. I think
Granny saved it online, didn't it?
Yeah,
It was a view to the goal line, and Granny made an incredible save. That with plays down the side.
I thought it came off the shoe.
No,
it just didn't cross the line.
Oh, okay. Well, the more you know. Thoughts on that one, guys? Thoughts on that? Let's dive into it.
Yeah, wasn't great.
Yeah, they're like no one wants to say anything. Everyone's kind of just like, oh god, what do we say for this? I mean, we started all right. We started all right. I don't want to say we started well. We started all right, and then it went downhill.
I think
and then they gave us a little bit of hope, and then we died.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think Danny's interview summed it up by saying we got outworked, outplayed on a home ice, and it's just not enough.
No.
I mean, Grant had a bit of a shocker, but at the end of the day, we didn't really do it. I think in the course of the game, we had probably about 5 good minutes over the course of the match. Because the rest of it was just kind of fucking passing about their zone, and that was sort of it. They just didn't much intent.
I knew that with us missing Pearson, we were. I think I predicted that game 4-1 to us, perhaps. But after we lost Pearson, I kind of thought, well, we're at least down a goal in this game. So I kind of thought I can't see us scoring more than 3 goals. So we need to make sure they don't score more than that. We need a defensive battle, and we really didn't get it. I think a lot. I mean, we're probably going to talk about him, but I think there is a lot of blame that can be put in Grande. But I do think we had a lot of defensemen that were trying more to score than they were trying to. I don't know whether it's stepping up, trying to fill that void, and the defenseman feeling we'll take that on us. Noel got a goal, didn't he? And I think it was a lot of that being on the front foot, trying to go for that opportunity to get a goal. In the second period, they scored on 3 breaks, essentially 3 breakaways. We can say, I don't know whether Grande just does much better when he's under pressure for longer periods, and then just seems to freeze up on when he gets those odd breaks.
Switches off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like there's just like a little switch there, and it seems to like flick it off. Like if it's not busy, it just seems to struggle. I mean, it was kind of last season. The games where it was getting overrun, he was better in. compared to like this season, where like when we've got a bit more of the puck, he seems to like be a bit more nervous and timid.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think that might be just boredom when we're playing well and he doesn't get any shots at him? He kind of just switches off because he just gets bored. He might not be paying attention.
but
Or
then you can't as a goalie.
no, you can't.
It's the whole point of the position is like you don't get bored.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you get paid to not get bored at the end of the day.
Well, that's the
Thinking
whole
of
point. Yeah, but
sat there with the puck at the opposite end of the ice, thinking of his COD stats.
yeah, but is he though? Given
I-
the performance, I don't want to put all the blame on him, but
I don't think you can get to the level that he's played at and he's currently at with that kind of thing. I do think there's a tremendous amount. He's a young lad. He's 25. He's found a second home here, and I think there has been a tremendous amount of pressure on him from himself probably to do well, and he's not doing well. And
Is he
that's
struggling
just
having a backup that could take his spot? Because bear in mind, he came last year as a backup, and then obviously Bernard got injured, so it was only him sort of thing. Because like Lucas obviously is not going to push him, where Carl like was on number 1 3 years ago, and could probably still be a number 1 first, as is proved this weekend again.
But it seemed like bringing in Carr seemed like a perfect marriage. Carr is a 35-year-old netminder.
35, 36 is around there, isn't it?
Yeah, he's wanting to slow down a bit at that age, and Grandy's wanting to speed up a bit. It seems like you have a perfect marriage of someone who wants to play maybe 1 out of 3 games versus Grandy playing 2 out of 3 games, and I just don't know that there's that competitive element that's doing him in. It's probably a bit of a relief that he's got someone that can step in and do well when he's not doing so well. But it's partially the team he was on last season. He started with poor stats in Slovakia, but it has to be said that team carried on being pretty poor after he left. Whether he's got some kind of problem where he problem getting into the season, getting into fitness that affected him last year and is now affecting him here. His communication is very lackluster compared to Carr and Bednard last season. They're people that will, on a break, they'll be shouting, they'll be saying, "You go there," and they'll try and get their D to coordinate with them, and then they'll position themselves.
It's just very quiet in general, isn't it? It's that all his interviews is just silent.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to be. Well, Carl also always seems to be really active, and in the locker room seems to be active.
Yeah,
so, like,
Danny and Omar
feel like they don't know him as much. I think does he not communicate saying like, if you take this type of shot, I'll get every time to stop him doing that sort of thing. So does he like orchestrate his defense of it? Is what I'm saying.
If there's communication, it probably happens off the ice in training sessions. Like I like it if you
on the
this.
ice, aren't you? You've got to adjust to what he's doing. Because if a third player's doing something, you've got to say, well, he's doing this, stop him doing this.
Yeah.
Stop him doing that sort of thing. Because it's like the goals as well games. It seems to be the same goals in the same game. It seems like that they do the same thing twice, sort of situation.
Yeah.
But no,
I think maybe he's got some. I think he came in last season with something to prove. You kind of get booted out of the Slovakia team. It's a poor team. You know it's a poor team. Everyone can see it's a poor team. You don't want to come out of that looking like you were the problem. So I think mentally you come into your next team going, nah, I'm a good goalie. I'm going to prove I'm a good goalie. And he did. Maybe not, I don't know if maybe the pressure's high or maybe the pressure's come off a little bit because he's proved himself. Maybe he doesn't feel the need to prove himself anymore. I don't know. I think it's all mental. He's got the skills. We know he's got the skills. We know the D in front of him is good and can be good. Maybe like I think in that Manchester game there was a lot of like Danny said, a lot of individual play, a lot of maybe pushing too far forward and then losing the puck, and then everyone's trying to track back on breakaways on 2-on-1s. So maybe I think it's just a mental thing. I think if he works at it, hopefully he doesn't get too frustrated and leave. I hope he doesn't leave. I hope he sticks around. I think the fans still love him. The fans still support him. I still, for one, want him to do well. I really like Grande. Bednard was my guy last season. I'll admit that, but I want him to do well. I want him to succeed. And if it's just a mental thing, I think he can get over it. I think he can work through it. And I think getting a couple of good wins, if he can get a shutout or a real good win where he makes 25 plus saves, I think he can snap himself out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think a positive way forward would be to swap the way we're using Carr and Grande. Put Grande in for the home games, for the big game. Put Carr in for the home games and the big games, and then put Grande in for the games that we're playing away. There's less pressure because you're playing in their barn. You want to win at home, you want to win away, but if you win away, it's more excusable, if you get what I mean. Just might take the bit of the pressure off of him.
He just needs a good game, doesn't he? He just needs a good game under his belt to just go, I've still got it, sort of thing. Because, I mean, pre-season was iffy as out as always, wasn't it? It's like, we won the game, but we've let a lot of goals in. So I think it's just either he's got lack of confidence at the moment, or there's just something that's just not clicking with him at the moment.
And that one game we won, he only stopped 13 shots. Like, he didn't see a lot of action. I want him to have a good game where he sees a lot of action.
I was just about to say
that'll really, that'll really solidify it. I think in his mind that I can do this. This is me.
And the goals are all breaks. They're all breaks. The pressure plays. He's maintaining what you consider like a normal game, normal stat pack from a game. I'm stumbling over my words all over the place here, but on the pressure, when he went under pressure on the power play, on the penalty kill, he's pretty solid. But it's those breaks, and you get that when your team is in possession more, and they're edging to score an errant pass, and they're coming down at you. So yeah, there's definitely things we can do.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think he's just that one good game away of kind of remembering what he was like last season. I really liked Grande. Again, Bednard was my guy. I think he was everyone's guy. But Grande really did pull his weight. And I think it is just a mental thing. And I hope this kind of weekend he's kind of not got the opinion or not got the new feeling where, bugger it, I'm just going to go out there and play. The relaxed feeling. I hope he gets that relaxed feeling where he doesn't get under the pressure and it doesn't get in his head that if I miss this, that's another one on my, or another cross on the headboard or something. And I kind of hope that Danny isn't breathing down his neck saying, if you don't start performing, you're gone, because that's not going to help.
I don't think he has been, because Danny's been giving him the starts that he's been wanted, the home starts to try and build his confidence. I think he is being given that room to try and come out of himself. But he's an introvert. Introverts internalize everything. He's in his own head a lot.
I think the main thing was playing him yesterday. I think that was like end up getting enough now. Like, you've got to sort of put your finger out, because it's very rare you pull a goal at a 4-2. So it does feel like that was like, I'm starting to have a bit of enough now. Like, I don't want to go at you, but like, if like Cardiff deserves a chance here.
Yeah,
I think the reality of it is we need to win. And if you're looking at your goalie going, you're not in this, your head's not here, you're not focused enough, whatever that kind of might be, you pull them. You pull them and say, we need to win. There's no hard feelings in it, because it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Danny keeps his job by winning. The team players, they get paid by, not necessarily, don't get solely paid by winning, but winning helps them make more money, as it were, and gives them other opportunities as well as other bits. So, I think you do have to give people chances, but at some point have to go, hey, we need to win, and you're not in the race.
Yeah, well, moving on to tonight's game. We've just finished watching 5-0.
Yay!
Brilliant. It was a brilliant game. We started with Carr. Well, Carr was the tender. The scorers: Henbrandt, Tim, Marcinu, Fossier, and my man Garat. Oh, I loved that when he scored that goal. But no, I think we outperformed the Devils. We were more physical than them. We were making more plays than them. We had quite a lot of breakouts as well, or breakthroughs. The D-men and the PK team is doing phenomenal. They're not letting anything in. And Kyle was on form, obviously, shut out. So yeah, let's dive into this one then. Who wants to start? Who's got it fresh in their head?
I mean, Kevin Curry 48 shot shutout, which is incredible to fair. Like, it's very rare you get a shot above like 30 shots, and their man's 48. Mitch with a 4-point night with a goal and 3 assists. Like, that's decent going.
My boy.
Yeah. I think the statement against Devils as well, because obviously they've had our number last 2 games. I was playing the preseason and then played them at home the other week, and they very much had our number. But then I thought that they played a different style tonight. It didn't really work. Devils didn't. In terms of like when they came to us, they was all over. It's like physicality team trying to get penalties all the time. Where tonight they just didn't really play physical at all. They tried to duck it, and obviously we then just walked it a bit more tonight.
Very quiet of a team, yeah. Because I was expecting a good couple of, maybe even a punch up or a good couple of hits, and there wasn't. There was just that one altercation at the very end where, well, I think it was Marston, wasn't it, where he slashed him with both hands.
Marty should have had a major flat though.
100%.
I've been reviewed by DFPS.
100%.
Like dog swing at somebody and then not have to be pushing for it.
There's a DOPS post coming for that. There is a DOPS post coming for that.
Yeah.
Don't take any more points off me.
Yeah.
Zach, don't take points off me for a DOPS post, please.
I think what Zach was saying there, if it's anything more than a fine, that'd be. I think Conway set the pace there. I think Conway's had the first fine of the season for a dangerous slash. So Martin Hughes got.
I definitely be something on it though, because you can't just try and slash a player because he hit you, basically. And obviously that allowed to the fight. I think if it wasn't a fight and the other guy slashed him, I think it would have been a major. I think he got away with that Brant slashed him back. I think it's very much like obviously Brant sort of dealt with himself, but DFPS has got to be all over that, I think.
And it was Brant though, so yeah.
Yeah. There was 50 shots, 40 on goal, so the quality and quantity was there again. So I think everything just fell in place. The PK, I did just mention it, but they did amazing. Again, they did it really well. They stopped anything going towards, or most things going towards Carr.
Good to see it scoring our power play, because like last 2 weeks we've said our power play just hasn't had any shot in it. Where tonight, I mean, we scored 2 from 5, and we just generally looked a bit smart on the power play tonight. Where last couple of weeks it's been very just pass. Oh, we've lost the puck again.
Yeah,
there's been like no shot off it. Where at least tonight we at least tried to get the shots off, and I mean we scored 2 goals from it, so it's obviously why we tried tonight worked, and there's a little confidence in them lines.
I think
that little interplay between Marcinu, Fossey, and Doherty, where they scored the goal, but they were trying that for ages. It was fantastic, just manoeuvring the defense around just a little bit and just getting that space out in the slot, and it worked. And Doherty got that goal, and it was just a fantastically worked bit of power play. And I think that's what we've needed. Like you say, the penalty kill's there. We know that's good. It was the power play that was letting us down. What did we go, like 15 power plays, 16 power plays without a goal? And now what we were saying is 40% in that game.
And it was 100% last night on power play, because no one scored.
Yeah, and that's what you want. That's what you need from your
6 this weekend. So 50% this weekend.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's what you want.
I think just across the board, everything was good. The face-offs, we were winning the important ones. They won 3 more face-offs, but I mean it's only 3, and we won the important ones. The power plays were good, as we've just said. The saves, everything, everything was just good. I don't think
I love the most.
Sorry,
I just don't say the bit I love the most was that play in the neutral zone. Just clogging it up, not letting them get any space, no entries, didn't make anything easy for them all night. Most of the shots they took were just low danger from the outside shots that Carr's just seeing a mile away, that were never going to ever beat him. I think they had a very small amount of like higher danger shots that really looked like they were going to trouble Carr. I think that's partly due to that team defense. And I think again, it comes back to what Danny says, playing as a team. We clogged up that neutral zone. We didn't let them have anything easy, and they didn't respond at all. Not with the physicality I thought they were going to. Like we've said, they didn't bring any physicality at all, really.
I think we brought it. We had some big hits.
Yeah. Was it Hildeman right at the start of the game just absolutely clarted someone? I was like, Jesus, all right, he's had his beans this morning, hasn't
he? Yeah, we brought the physicality this time, which I thought after that we were going to fall into the usual trap where we become too physical and then we lose opportunities and breakouts. But it just didn't happen.
It just was the opposite last 2 games, didn't it? Where like we were the ones bringing the physicality, they just didn't bring out. Where the last couple of weeks we played them, they've just absolute trouncers of hits and everything else. Where this week they just didn't look bothered, which I thought was strange considering that the team, well, especially last week for Devils, where they got a crap for the penalties against them. So I don't know if there's been something in the like from the rest this week, something saying that we need to clamp down, or if it's a like, well, we can't keep saying that many penalties.
I wonder if there has been, most especially after that Manchester Cardiff weekend.
Yeah, it was
I wonder if something has been officially said by the league to the clubs that we need to calm things down a little bit. There's been some ridiculous games, and I was under the impression that it would probably continue until we got an injury to a high-profile player, and Pearson, he's out from a cheap shotting slash, and I think it's a combination of that.
Friday or something, because I know it kicked off it yesterday, and then today there's been like no penalties like the league. It's been very late penalties all night.
Exactly. It's
well,
such a
last
stark
week, like
change.
most games have had like 20, 30 minutes penalties after weeks because there's been guards kicked out left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
But then like the Manchester kind of thing last week, there was a lot of like cheap penalties. So I think they'll say like enough's enough now. Like we're not giving out. Like we're giving everything now.
Yeah.
Sort of like just nipping the butt.
And I think they've been given that fair warning. The fact that there was only how many penalties were in the Manchester game? There was it just 3?
So yeah, more than that.
I'll pull that up. You keep talking, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, 3.
3 penalties in the Manchester game, and you look at the Manchester game the week before. I genuinely think that something has been officially said by the clubs, but by the Elite League itself, and the clubs have kind of taken that on board. And going into tonight, that is Cardiff's game, physicality and cheap shotting. So they're probably having to readjust how they play their overall game, and that's come a cropper for them tonight.
Well, I hope it keeps happening. I hope they can't change their gameplay and alter, and they just are like this all season now.
I mean, I love winning. But I do like Cardiff's physical play. I think you should be having that difference in teams. You know, if every team plays the same way, I think it's easy to have a kind of more boring league. I like the fact that Manchester and Cardiff are a bit more physical. So I hope they find a balance, because I think the balance is off. Like that game tonight, Cardiff cannot win anything playing like that. They don't have the players for it. Their players are physical players. Let them be. I'd like the hits. I like seeing I like a little bit of a come together every now and again. Obviously, when it takes over the entire game like Manchester, you lose that, and I can understand them saying, look, we need to pull this back a little bit. But at the same time, if you pull too far back, it just becomes, I don't want to say boring, because I love seeing my team win, but you know, let the guys play how they play a little bit as well.
But it's the difference in physicalities, though. I absolutely love the like Manchester are a physical side, Dundee, Fife physical sides, but they use their physicality in more of a defensive kind of style. The Cardiff they're reckless, absolutely reckless. They've got a whole line that's built around that, and that is the kind of play that deters good players coming to this league. If we end up with high-profile players that have come into this league getting injured, people look at that, and the EIHL has come up in recent years. It's got much more people looking at it. You know, Pearson slashing injury off of a cheap shot, and there's been if we keep on getting that, it deters players. So it's the onus was on the league to say something, and I think they have. But the physicality that Cardiff bring, I don't like. That's gaming the game. And the physicality that Manchester bring, I do like, because that is that traditional physicality.
Yeah, it's hockey, isn't it? It's just hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey, violent, and it will always be violent. It's just malicious violence, or I guess defensive violence, if that's the word we're going to use.
But as well as violence in hockey, there's honour, and
Yeah,
you for a bad hit, you expect to get hit back. Against Cardiff, their game is to cheap shot you, expect you to try and go after them, and then you get
And then we get a
penalised.
penalty against them because like we've done potentially what's worse.
Yeah,
When like
yeah.
they've like they just go out to injure or like leave one on you type thing, but you can't retaliate because the rest are more strict on retaliation than they are on the first call. For some reason, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
But so yeah, happy with. I'm going to say overall, I'm happy with the results this week as we've had. We're definitely still in the runnings for the cup for second and third. I don't think we're going to get first, so I think we need to kind of realise that and now play for second and third. I don't think is it possible now still?
Coventry are on 12 points, I believe. I don't think we can get 12. I think we got 3. I think the most amount of points we could get is 12 now with the games we've got left to play. So I don't think first is on the cards, but I think that second, third place is definitely doable. We
100%.
just need to beat Sheffield on Wednesday, and then we've got a return match against Coventry. Win those 2 games, we're looking good.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's Coventry. Sorry, I thought we heard Cardiff. Yeah, I was going to say we'd already played our Cardiff home game.
No, yes, it's one more against Sheffield, one more against Coventry.
That's right.
I think that's the last 2,
and
is
effectively,
it? Yeah.
Coventry seem to be pulling away in that first position. Does that, if the results keep on as they are, and we get a result on Wednesday against Sheffield, does that final game effectively become a bit of a dead rubber for them?
Well, we go above Sheffield Wednesday if we win. But then like
No, they're a football team. They are.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got
someone had to say it.
Yeah, they've got 2 games on us. So obviously, like Sheffield then have to win the other 2, really. But I mean, best situation is if Coventry are already through, so then we play Coventry when they're already through.
Yeah.
Because we don't play Coventry for like another month yet. There's like a massive gap now after Wednesday. For some reason, it's like we played all these games and then they just stopped till like middle of November.
The cup's such a weird format. It doesn't make any sense to anybody.
Because what's annoying me, you either play the cup all at the start or you play the league and then put the cup in. Like that, you don't play 9 games of the cup and then go, oh, we'll wait a month.
Yeah.
If you're playing them all, you play them all. It's like it's getting confusing now because some teams have played 6, the rest of the teams have played 8, and the teams playing league games now. It's like, well, you play one or the other.
Yeah.
Like get the cup done and then play the league. That's the way you want to do it.
No, I agree. It adds more definition to the 3 domestic titles. You've got your league title. You've got your early cup. A team starts in good form off the bat. They've got a good run at that cup, and then you've got your postseason.
The cup can be done by Christmas.
Exactly.
Realistically, you can do all the group stage games till October, semi-final November, and then final like weekend for Christmas. Week for Christmas.
And at that time of year, people off work televise it to get it out there. It's a cup final. It might be interesting.
Or you do like a New Year's Day cup final or something, make like a big event.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I'd love that.
Imagine the first game of the year, like 2-3 o'clock face off, so everyone's like before they'll get drunk, and then have like a big celebration of like the cup final type thing. Like because it'd be a massive event, and then it'd be the only game on that day, and everyone's off work for New Year's Day, and it's just a massive event thing. And I think that'd be the best way to do it. And it's like the first show for the new year, but it is the first of the new year. And so it sort of sees the year in like NHL does with the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
It's like the big event to like start the year and go and get the assignment going for like the league to pop kick off.
The NBA have started doing it. They do the NBA Cup now as well, and that's still pretty much done, I think, before Christmas. And it just adds a little bit of something into the, splits up the kind of year of the season for everything. And I think the cup should be the same. Like say, start off, play all your playing games, see who's going to make it to the semis, play the semis, and then like you say, New Year final. That'd be phenomenal. It'd be great stuff, and everyone would tune in.
And then what you do that way is you do a neutral venue and it starts going, oh, it's in Sheffield on New Year's Day, so everyone can book it.
Yeah.
Because obviously the way they do it now, it's a pain as well. Saying, oh yeah, well we're playing in Belfast, but you won't know till 2 weeks before the final. so no one can go. Like if you play it, so the semi-finals are like end of November, you've got a month to be able to go, type thing, to know you're there.
Yeah.
And then just make it fully neutral. So one side of arena's Belfast, one side of arena's Steelers. And then the atmosphere on New Year's Day would be nuts as well. Because everyone like bid wrongs in Bunk. Obviously, you start Christmas, it's all good fun that sort of time. I think it'd be the best way to do it, in my opinion.
I agree.
It'd be a bit of a party, wouldn't it?
So, out of the two games that are coming up, Coventry, Sheffield, which ones are you most worried about? Which ones are you thinking, okay, yeah, because they're both going to be tough games. Coventry are looking really good, and Sheffield there's always that, it's always tough. So, which ones do you think is going to be tougher?
Sheffield, it just always is. I mean, we beat Coventry last week, and I think we have sort of got the number from what's been pre-season and last week. Where Sheffield, you've got to go out early win against them, otherwise you can get in a streak again. Which obviously we broke last year, but if we lose the first two again, the pressure's on again at Christmas, or just for Christmas. It's always one of those games where you've got to snap it early and like at least be tied with them in games, like going into like Christmas games.
Yeah,
because otherwise
I think
you just put pressure.
Sheffield's the more emotionally damaging game if we lose. Coventry are playing well; they're in good form. So if you lose to them in the cup and it's a good back and forth game, I think you can still come out of that feeling good. There's no way you lose to Sheffield in any manner and feel good afterwards, or feel like you come out of it with something. You just feel like crap. So I think the more emotionally damaging loss would be, or game to lose would be, the Sheffield one. I want us to smoke Sheffield.
Especially
so
after winning like tonight as well. It's like we've got all the momentum into it. They've lost tonight. So we've got all the momentum going into Wednesday. I think if we win that, we can sort of relax a bit more again. But if we lose that again, we're back at square one for the game on Sunday.
2 steps forwards, 1 step back all the time.
Yeah, because everyone's being short at the moment. So if we can get a run going, we've got a big chance to sort of like get a good head start to the league, which you kind of need. Just while it's still shock up a bit.
Was it? Sorry, I'm lost. It's Sheffield on this Wednesday?
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday away.
Sheffield, and then who do we have on Sunday?
Cardiff in the league.
I think everyone said Coventry.
Did we say Coventry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what Coventry go in the cup, haven't we? But that's like November.
Yeah, no.
Oh, right. Editor, delete all this. Delete this entire bit.
And my brain was just
Yeah, it's Cardiff, innit? Idiot.
Yeah. I was kind of gaslighting myself when everyone was agreeing it's Coventry.
I'll cut this whole bit out.
No, so
I'm
Sheffield,
going to that game.
now we've said we've got to edit it out. Now we've got to keep it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got to keep it in now. We're idiots. Everyone listening to this, we don't know what we're talking about. We're stupid.
Sheffield away has become a must-win game if we want to progress in this competition at all. But it's also, as people have already been saying, even if you don't care about the Challenge Cup, you can develop a habit of losing that you carry into the league. We owe Sheffield one. We need to. We're quite good at getting revenge. I think we've avenged most of our losses already this season. We owe Sheffield one for sure. Take those points. That puts us in a good place in the Challenge Cup group, and then onto Sunday against Cardiff. Hopefully, they're still trying to figure out how they're going to play the rest of the season, not being able to cheap shot every 2 seconds. And hopefully we catch them on the back foot. Don't take it lightly. We've beaten them 5-0. Don't then think we've got them. You've got to be. They've still got skillful players. They've still got dangerous. They've still got a very good defence. And whichever netminder they put in, you're going to have a task.
Yeah, no, now it's not Coventry. I'm going to agree. I was, because I thought Coventry, I was going to say Coventry and be different. But no, yeah, I agree with your Steelers. It's the more, to me, personally, it's more important to me. Because whenever we lose against Sheffield, I take it personally. It's like I'm a player. That's how I feel. And
I turn my phone off. If we lose to Sheffield, I turn my phone off. I don't touch it for a little while.
When I go to work the following day, people don't talk. They know if we've lost against Sheffield, they know don't talk to Doug. Don't message him. Just let him get on with his work, and he'll talk to you if he wants to.
And to be honest as well, just to add to the Sheffield one, Simsy putting out that awful post trying to turn Pearson's injury into a opportunity to sell tickets.
Even
You've
there,
kind of got to
yeah,
pin that up
like,
on the wall in the dressing room.
yeah.
Let's have our first swear of the episode. What a bellend, Simsy, all the time. All the time. He's just got to be, and he take that Sheffield Steeler account off him. Moron.
Yeah, and if we did, not if, when we beat them on Wednesday, that'll shut him up. Well, it won't.
Well, it won't.
It won't.
I think it why Sims on the socials though, because they've got 2 social media managers. Because there's 2 girls that do it for them, and they're brilliant. And then Sims, and that Sims just puts like the most stupidest post out that then like just ruins.
And you can always tell.
Yeah,
and you can always tell.
I feel it might be a bit of blasphemy, but I do feel a little bit for the Sheffield Steelers organisation. Any step forward they take, Sims automatically gives them 2 steps back. He's relic of a bygone age that wasn't even that great.
Because going on socials, Sophie, who works for us, used to work for them, and then as soon as she came to us, that our socials took a massive step up, and theirs seems to have just like gone like either stagnated or gone backwards, because like the people running Sheffield are always just going to take that club where they are, unfortunately, which is why the league hates them, because it's the people that runs it that ruins it for them. And it's the same people, organisation that probably shouldn't be there, but they are because they've been in that role for years.
He knows where the skeletons are buried.
Yeah.
So moving on, table standard. We'll go through this quickly. League, we've got Clan at the top, but they are 2 games ahead. So, there's still room there. We're seconds. Then the Steelers, they're a game ahead of us. Storm after them, they're a game ahead as well. Guildford after Storm, they're a game ahead, and then Fife, they're on 1 game as well, and the rest haven't really played. So
and Dundee at bottom with
Dundee at bottom. Sorry, with 1 game. And in the cup, we've got Coventry top with 12, Cardiff with 10, Steelers with 9, us with 8, Storm with 6, and then Flames with 4. And then in the other team, or the other bracket, you've got Dundee Stars with 11, Giants with 10, Fife with 7, and Clan with 6. Which is strange, given they've just beaten. Yeah, there's just no sense. This is a bit of a tangent. I think we discussed this last episode. There's just no sense on who's beating who and who's losing against. It's just all over the place.
I mean, the issue with me in this topic is the one I've said is that everyone's played different games. Because Glasgow's played 6 games and everyone else has played 8. Still, Wise Clan played 2 league games, in my opinion. And then it's like us group. It's like us. We've got us on 8 games with the top 2, and then you got Sheffield on 6, and then Storm and Flames got 7. It's like just they're all the same game, so you know where you are at this point in the season. It's just where it becomes a mess, because no one knows where they are, because there's just that many different games this far into the season already. Because like the fixtures are just weird at the moment. It says like half the leagues played a league game tonight. We played a league game the other week. But it was midweek, so it didn't affect it. But then we don't play our last cup game till like middle of November now. It's just where's the consistency with it? That just get it all done at one go.
So after this, we normally speak about the upcoming games. We've literally just done that with that question that I had. And we didn't have. Then after that, we normally speak about a rule, but there hasn't been any weird calls or rules that have happened yet. So it's straight onto game predictions. So, what are we thinking for Sheffield away?
I think 4-3 overtime to us, because we can't be. We're never allowed to be completely happy. We'll level out on points, and I just feel that's where we'll be.
It'll be a 3-0 lead with 5 minutes to go. Then they'll tie it up, and then we'll score like last pushing game or something in overtime. It'd be like 0.05 in overtime or something to win it. He just always does us.
Okay. Zach?
I mean, I think it's a really close game again. It always is against Sheffield. It's either like a battle or it's really close. So I think it's going to be 5-4 to us in overtime.
Okay, yeah.
I think because it always, like if it's a close game, it's always a goal fest for Sheffield. It's either like a 4-1 or it's like a 5-4 there. It just never seems to be like easy sort of thing.
David?
Going into Sheffield's always hard. Half of me wants to be positive and say, yeah, we're going to win. I just think the cup's just been so up and down and back to front. I think we probably maybe lose that game in overtime.
Okay.
I'm going to say 4-3 in overtime to Sheffield. Unfortunately, I'm going to be slightly pessimistic.
For people who couldn't see our faces, we were all looking quite intense there.
Blasphemy.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong.
I understand you.
Okay, so I think if I'm not going to say if I think if we do this or if we do that. Again, yeah, like we've all said, it's hard, it's difficult. There's always a lot of goals between us. Sometimes one team will just take it away and score a bunch. Zach, you took my score. I'm gonna say it's gonna have to be above 6. No, we're not gonna score 6. We're just not. I know that.
They can score 6 now.
Yeah, 6-0. Shut up. I'm gonna say 4-3, and it's not overtime. I'm gonna say it's 4-3. We win in regulation. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, and then we've got Sunday against Cardiff, not Blaze.
The Cardiff Blaze.
Home. We'll start Chris again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Cardiff have tried to play hockey. We came out on top. It'll be interesting to see if they try to bring a bit more of their brand of physicality back into the game, and I think that could backfire. But they've got to try something. 5-0 in your own home. You're going to be leaving that quite disappointed. They're missing Martin at the moment. I think he's out with an undefined amount of time with an injury. There hasn't been any word on that yet. Phenomenal player. Always seems to do well against us. Just one of those snipers, can pop a goal from nowhere. Big miss for them. And they're a team that have a line dedicated to physicality, and then 2 lines of skillful players. And you take away one of those skillful players, it impacts them massively. I think that's a bit of a problem. Been a bit of the problem over this weekend, and it will probably continue into that game. I'm going to say probably they're going to know that they need to try and bring a bit more of the defensive edge to the game. So I'm going to say probably 3-1 to us.
Okay, I like that. Zach?
I mean, it's a really tough game. Obviously, they're going to want revenge for tonight. But we need a big response at home. I mean, 1 win in 4 at home is just ridiculous. It's really poor. So I think we'll get a 4-2 win. I think potentially that is a 3-2 game with an empty net again. I think it's going to be one of those sort of games. Quite tense, but I think we'll just get over the line.
I'm going to start going first. I'd written this down, Doug 4-2. I'm going to change it again. David?
You don't need to change it. You can have the same prediction.
Yeah. It's like, can't copy my homework, but just make it slightly different.
This is the man who uses ChatGPT.
I think both teams have got a lot to prove. like Cardiff have just got walloped in their home. They want to come in and wallop us in our home. And for us, like Zach said, the amount of losses at home is just unacceptable. Danny Stewart said last season, make this a fortress, and we need to go back to it. I think it's going to be a real defensive, but I don't think it's going to be a high score, and I think it's going to be 2-1 to us.
Mm-hmm.
Real defensive battle.
Yeah.
With Carr in net. I mean, to add, Cardiff have lost both games at home this weekend.
Yeah.
And they were 3-0 against Coventry last night, so they've completely threw that one away. And then got battered tonight, so they're going to have to respond next weekend.
Yeah.
And they've got Coventry again and then us. So, like, it's a massive revenge weekend for them. So, I mean,
that is going to be interesting.
A bit of a different weekend. If we're not careful,
as well, a bit of a benefit from us is that the Sheffield game on the Saturday was moved to the Wednesday. I mean, us and Sheffield are coming off the same amount of games at the weekend, so we're going to have the same effect in that Wednesday game. But we're going to have a couple of days. We're not playing the Saturday, so we're going to have an extra days
to focus on
between then. And
I'm going to fully focus on Cardiff, where they've got to focus on Coventry as well, who also beat them yesterday.
Yeah.
So I mean, are they going to wear themselves out trying to get revenge over Coventry as well?
Are they both away games for them?
Let me quick check. No, Cardiff at home again against them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I agree. With what David said. We both need to prove something. And again, with what Zach said, and again with what Chris said, I agree with everything. I'm going 4-3 overtime. I think they're going to bring it. I think then at the end they will probably fall back into their own kind of old charm of physicality, which will then let us bring it up or bring it to our level playing field. And then overtime, I just think we play really well 3-on-3. But I also think it depends who we start with in goal. Not to put any pressure on anybody, but with the performance of how it's been, I think it is down to who we start with. But no, I think they'll take the lead to start with. We'll match them, and then we'll beat them in OT. That's my thought. Right. Predictions are out of the way, and now it's player of the cast. We decided this very quickly, just before the call, because, well, it's straight after the game. And I think we all went with Carr. We all agreed that Carr should get our player of the cast, because the 2 shutouts that he's done, the amount of saves he's done, it's just, you can't not give it to him. Players are playing well. But any honourable mentions from you three?
I'm going to go with Boss, who had a 4.9 tonight and a goal last night.
Yeah.
I think he's been one of the only standout players this weekend. I mean, I know we played well tonight, but last night it was obviously woeful. And I thought Mitch did well this weekend. I mean, a 5-point weekend with the weekend of that is decent going. And I mean, he got points on 4 or 5 goals tonight, so you can't ask for shout, can you?
For me, I'd like to mention Marcinu. He's
of course you do.
He's proving to be Mr. Consistent. Like we've not had any runaway games from him, but he's always putting up points. There's not a weekend goes by that he hasn't scored, assisted. He's
always good bet for the fans, isn't it? If you get Marcinu, you know you're going to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah,
like, he's within the top 2 with that week.
Steady, consistent, hard worker. Passionate, maybe a bit too much.
Loves golf, doesn't
he? Yeah. What a drive.
Have you got
that's my mention.
I'm going to honourable mention Harris. I think the last 2 weeks, I think the first week of the season, I think he was almost non-existent. As soon as he went on that line with Pearson and Marcinu, I think that just leveled his game up playing with those guys, or at least brought it up to where we all thought it should be. And I think going into this week, he scored against Manchester, although it's a terrible game. I think he's getting to that level we all need him and want him to be at, which I think is good.
And it's great that he's continued that he seems to have gelled with Martineau. With Pearson kind of brought them together, brought that line together when he moved on to it. But it's great that he seems to have continued that in lieu of Pearson being there.
Yeah, definitely.
Could have done it 2 weeks ago, though, could he?
He knew you had him, and he was like, "Nah, we're not having that."
I'm going to say my swear word now. You prick. I'm going to mention, and I feel like I've already mentioned him, but Zumbor Garrett. Of course, he's consistently. I'm going to say good. I was going to say average, but he's not average. He's good. He scored tonight. It's just, he's not making the mistakes. Simple as that, really.
I think it says a lot that he's paired up with Zek. Zek's, for want of the better word, he's our most adventurous defenseman. Whether that, I mean, he'll go on a mission, he'll go on a drive. Sometimes that can turn over the puck, go the other way. You've got Garrett getting back to be that man back, and it's working out for the both of them, having that consistent anchor for Zek.
I just want to point out as well, I think out of all the goals this game, Zach, how many was Zach on there for?
0.
Yep. Who had him for Fantasy League?
I don't know, probably you.
Yep.
This is how I felt last week with Spencer. This is how I felt. All those goals in Guildford, not a bloody point.
From what I'm gathering here is, whoever I pick or whoever I get picked is not going to do well. So we kind of hope that I don't get the good players. I get Foss, he doesn't score.
Stop with that for Grandin next week.
No, we want him to do well. Right. Okay then. Have we got any worse ref moments?
I think a bit of that this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't many calls from last thing, last day, and I mean today I thought there was ref really well.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much that I can complain about this week.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
they should have given a major and they didn't. But I mean, it was the end of the game. Martineau got booted
anyway,
out.
so it's benefited us.
Yeah.
I have plucked something out of the air actually, and this is it's just a bit of a bugbear I've got from the Manchester called off goal. The Manchester, it was never a goal. It didn't cross the line. It was a save. But leave that to the coach to challenge. Why are you checking? Why are you reviewing that? Let their coach say, "Hang on a second, I think that needs reviewing," and then they have to have that pressure on them.
And from the winner point of view, let us know what the hell's happening.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Because they
called no goal on the ice as well.
I don't know if it was like there's a bit of afters after that as well, where there's a big cross check. So I didn't know if it was been a major for that, or if it's for the goal, or if it's for like something else in the play.
Yeah.
So like, just let us know if they're reviewing the goal, if they're viewing an incident, just so we know. Anything.
I was quite shocked because I originally thought it was a coach's challenge, because I was under the assumption that a goal, the refs can't get involved unless there's been a challenge. Clearly that's not. I had that wrong in my head. So I was like, yeah, come on, power play, here we go, more goals. But no.
There is a chance I've got it wrong, and a coach can only call for a challenge on a goal under certain circumstances, like contact. But I just want something to moan
about. But then what's the point of having coach challenges then? Because it should be like the coach challenges whatever they want, and then obviously because they've got the downside that if they get it wrong, it's power play.
Yeah.
Yeah, there shouldn't be limitations on a coach's challenge because you're at that risk.
Yeah, you've got that.
Given
you only review certain stuff if the coach requests it, and you don't just review everything because that's where it turns into football and it takes the mick with VAR in football, and that's why a lot of people are moving to ice hockey now because VAR's ruined football these days.
And takes a lot of time as well.
Yeah,
takes a lot of time.
I mean, there's got a few last week. I think I found it because I mean, there's a few last week. I think the time it was like 10.5 minutes to review last week.
Yeah.
It was just taking the mic. Yeah. It should be like 2-3 minutes max, and they go, well, if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. It's the bugbear that have a football. It's like if there's nothing there, if it takes a lot long to see something, there's nothing there. In my opinion.
Yeah, go with the call on the ice. Like whether it's right or wrong, go with the call on the ice. If the coach wants to challenge it, challenge it, look at it, and then
And then you go more in depth when the coach calls it. In my opinion, if the coach calls it, then you know you get right or wrong. But then like the real knows that the coach called this, so they give you more leeway. Is when the rest of you and it's like, well, just make your mind up. In my opinion, but
apart from that, rest did quite all right.
Yeah, it's just like a safety net for the rest of that point. But it's like, oh yeah, we'll call it one, and then we'll look afterwards, which I agree with, but it's used too much at times, and then too little other times.
Yeah. Okay then. So I will leave the fantasy pick to last. Q&A. We've actually got some. We've got quite a few actually, which is really nice to see. One of them is a very recent scar or recent wound on the league, so I'll leave that till the end because that's. I'm sure we've all got the same views on it, but it's the most touchy one. But the first one is, what's your favourite piece of ice hockey trivia or fun fact? And that was asked by Rosie. I've got an answer for this. It doesn't make sense that I've got this answer because I definitely wasn't around in this time. But I did a little bit of researching. And during the season 2010 to 11, the Edinburgh Capitals turned up to a game with only 12 players and one goalie. And they had to have...
It's against us, wasn't it?
Sorry?
The minibus.
It was against us, wasn't
it? Potentially.
I believe it was against us at the Motor Point. I don't remember it now because it's a little bit more for the time, but I swear I read that fact. They had to play us and they got twatted, but still.
By the third period, they had D-men offering to be the forwards and switching roles. So that would have been a fun game to watch. Not a fun game to play if you're on their side.
The advantage was that they managed to save a bit of money on travel costs because they traded in for a minibus.
Taxi line. Has
anyone else got a bit of trivia fun fact?
I mean, there was a stat that was on the Elite League page the other day, and it's that there's more left-handed players than right-handed players in the league, which I thought was quite interesting. Yeah. Because it's like one of those sports where like it's more left-handed dominant, where the whole population is more right-handed dominant. So I thought that's quite an interesting one.
It is, yeah. Certainly in our team, it's. I think it's quite. Last season was especially left-handed dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of trivia for me, not Elite League specific, but I don't know. Not everyone might know, but the GB has won gold in the Olympics before. In that same competition, we competing for the Olympics that year was Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. So, wow. Interesting bit of trivia. I think we had to play one of them. I don't think we played the other, but I can't remember which way around it was. It might have been Germany.
I'm sure I'll come back to that in the future because I know we've got plans for a full history episode in a few weeks. So I'm sure we can get the full history of like GB and how hockey was originated.
Yeah, I didn't even think hockey was in the Olympics.
Yep. And we won it, baby. We were champions.
Gold.
Where did it go wrong?
Very short list of countries that can claim gold in ice hockey in the Olympics.
I bet it's like Russia, Canada, and USA, isn't it? I bet there's only 4 or 5. I think Germany won it. I swear Germany won it not that long ago. I can't remember. But
don't know. I have a trivia for you all, which I found out a while ago, but when I heard it, it made so much sense, but also like you just wouldn't think about it. And it's a little bit simpler than the ones we've talked about, but hockey pucks are frozen.
Are they?
Ball games. Hockey pucks are frozen.
Yeah.
Stops them because they're rubber. It stops them pinging about all over the place, makes them glide across the ice a bit easier.
it's
But yeah,
something
hockey
cracking as well,
pucks are
apparently.
frozen.
Because already frozen, apparently it's something cracking as well. Because obviously, like,
Yeah.
as they are now, they'll freeze anyway, and it like damages like the particles in them, whatever.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay. No, that out of all of them, Simple Mind, I found that one the most interesting.
It's
'Cause-
good,
I mean-
isn't it? It's cool.
'cause
I mean, another weird one that I've got is that they use hot water for Zamboni because it freezes faster than cold water, which is just a
It
weird
does, yeah.
idea. Yeah,
Thermodynamics, doesn't it? Yeah. I heard that one.
I thought that's a bit mental because it freezes faster and like it has less bubbles than if you use cold water, which you just wouldn't think.
Mm.
And it freezes clear. So if you
Yeah.
use the like cold water, it freezes cloudy, and you'll lose all your be able to see the sponsorship. Where if you boil the water and use hot water, it freezes clear.
Okay.
So if you want to have clear ice cubes at home, boil your water, then freeze it.
The more you know, bartender David. Just quickly, because you just mentioned it, if there's anyone listening who knows, I think he's bald, the driver of our Zamboni, I want to get him on the show because I cheer him on every time I see him and I'm there. I'm cheering for him because he drives out with some.
He's got the best job, Addy.
Sorry.
He's got the best job. He's got the whole life to himself. He just
Yeah.
goes up and down it all day, and that's just his job. He's just a full-time job. Just go up and down the Zamboni all day. It's all right, isn't it?
And he drives it really well. So, and if you're listening, message one of us, anything, the Instagram, whatever. I want you on the show.
I'm sure it's someone that knows him.
So we'll go on to the next one. It's from Daphne. When do you think you'll see new faces joining the team? I think not for a little while yet. I think it's too soon to kind of start replacing people. I think no, that's a different question. I don't think for a while. At least until next year, in the new year.
I mean, it was early last season, but we had quite a few long-term injuries. I mean, we had like Zeki was out till just before Christmas from the first game of the season. So that's when Gawat came in. I think sort of around this sort of time last year. And then obviously Grande came in. We had all the goal issues with Borva.
Yeah.
And then I think Mitch came in, but he was already signed pre-season last year. He just came in a bit late because he had some issues over there. But yeah, I think probably we're looking at least November, at least December, in my opinion. I don't think we'll do it early unless there's like a really long-term injury that they have to replace.
I think we'll definitely bring. Whether they're trying to get a feel for the team, you've got to get a feel for the team first. There's players that might not be doing so well at the moment who are going to find their feet. You've got to give them a chance. I definitely feel that we'll bring in possibly some some short-term players for the Continental Cup. But before then, I do think we'll probably look to bring a spare D-man in.
Yeah. But we've got a spare forward, haven't we? Because obviously our father should be back, well, probably next week, week after, from what they're saying.
But
from what I've heard.
I don't think we'll make any signings until all of the North American hockey camps are finished. I think that's where Pasha seems to be recruiting quite hugely from North America at the moment. So I think that's where we'll be waiting to see what comes up.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Middle of December to start of January before Continental Cup, barring any injuries. I think if we find out, next week that Chase isn't going to be back for 2 months, then you've got to pull the trigger and bring someone in. But if we stay relatively healthy, I don't see us bringing any extra skaters in until end of the year.
Yeah, he's the only injury, isn't he, that we've got?
We've got Alfaro, but he's missing
He's
like
coming.
1 to 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, he's coming back very soon.
Yeah. Well, they said mid-October, didn't they? So that's like next week or week after, isn't it, really? And he's full skating now, apparently. So I reckon they'll try probably getting back for the weekend, I'd say. I don't think ready for Sheffield, but I think they're going to try and get him back to Cardiff. Just obviously know that Chase is out that long as well. I don't think they're going to want to play freelance hockey for too long.
No. Okay, definitely also had another question, but I feel like we've answered that as well. It's very similar to the first. Do you think we'll see any new faces soon due to having a couple of players off injured? I think David answered it brilliantly. If Chase is to be off for longer, if something happens during his rest and he doesn't come back, I think we'll get a replacement for Chase. A short term, not like a filler. Sorry, not a replacement. But I think that's the only account or the only time or the only thing, because there's nothing else gleamingly obvious to me that requires us to go. Yeah, we need someone new now.
I will say Chase has officially stated that he's going to be back early. I'm holding him to that. That's a promise.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I think I hold it as legally binding as Fossier's air signature at the playoffs last season.
Yeah.
But I know we've lost some games. I know we've had bad form, but it's just a lack of consistency. The players there, as we've seen tonight, the players are there. They're good. I can't see us dropping anyone unless we drop 3-4 games in a row. I think if we come into the league and we're, towards the bottom end of the league after the first 5-6 games, then maybe we pull the trigger on that. But barring an injury or a really bad run of form, I think we stick with the players we've got at the moment, because I think we've proven on more than one occasion now that when we play the right way, when we play the Panther way, we can win, and we can win in dominating fashion.
Yeah. No, I am going to say. Sorry, I'm going to butt in again. I am going to say what I was going to answer before, because I've already put it in the Discord. I've voiced it quite a bit. My only worry is Grandad. But I don't think they're gonna look, as we've spoken about it earlier in previous at the start. I think once he's got his rest, once he's got his head sorted or back on his shoulders, he'll be back how he was previous. So
I think if Grande had come in, if this was his first time with us, if he hadn't had last season, if he was a netminder we were signing from scratch, he'd be on the chopping block. But we know what he can do. We want that, and we've won a trophy off him. I think we do need to give him the opportunity to show he can be that guy again.
Yeah, I think he's definitely earned that. So I reckon, that's why I said about January time, February time. February is quite far up. I think January. If we see any changes, I think it'll be January.
If a guy wins your playoffs, you give him more than 4 or 5 games, to sort himself out. Just let's be fair to him a little bit.
He got us a trophy after all. Okay, and then the next, I think there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 questions here. Her name, or the name, I don't know if it's a he or she. The name is Cynthen. CTHRBN. No, RNB. They've put, what's your favourite hockey romance book, if you've read any? I will go first. I have not read a book. This will be funny because there's a whole section in Discord, and a lot of people in the server read books and are quite passionate about them. I have not read a book since primary school, Fuzz Buzz. So, no, I don't.
I'm going to say it was. And I have read this book. Tony Hand, A Life in British Ice Hockey. He certainly spent a lot of time romanticising himself in that book.
Anyone else?
At the shop I work at, Icebreaker was on the shelf, and me and some of my colleagues picked a random page. Very saucy stuff. Can't say I've read it back to front. I think we're gonna discuss more about this tomorrow, aren't we? So we'll save our scathing opinions on certain articles that were written for tomorrow. But yeah, I think if you enjoy those books, enjoy them. But I prefer my fantasy to be like Game of Thrones and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I prefer mine in a motion on a screen where I don't need to read.
Yeah.
Zach, yourself, any books? Are you a book man?
Yeah, I mean, I've got one on the Kindle, which is like it's like the voice of British hockey. So like, it's loads of people like emailed in and like their experience getting into it, which is quite interesting. And then there's a few actual like Panthers history books on Amazon you can read, which are also quite interesting. Like there's also like every single stat from about like a year and a bit ago, and there's one that's like the full history of the club and stuff, which if people want to like learn more about the club, could be interesting to read.
It's a series, isn't it? I think the series of particular.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Cat's Whiskers, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I've not gotten them myself, but
Because I know it says another one coming out, but yeah, I know I've got both, and they're quite interesting actually to look for like the stats in like 1948 and like the kind of players and the kind of teams used to play back then as well. As well, you got like Brighton, so I was like, well, they haven't had a team for 60, 70 years, and like you never knew they actually had a team. So like if you're into like your history of the club, you want to find out more. They are good things to look for.
Yeah.
And it's just good to know that they exist, especially the new fans that what this podcast is catered for.
I'm going to guess there's not a lot of romance in them, though. You know,
probably not, but
the shagging's to a minimal in those books.
Stats are romance of their own.
Yeah,
true. Stats are sexy. Stats are very sexy.
There are some curvy numbers.
If you want some sexy stats, look up Trevor Gallant's time here. I'll just say that.
I'll save that for me reading later on tonight when I'm on my own.
Okay, so next question from the same person. What would you attribute to the rise in fan attendance at the games to be from? Now, I think that it is just genuinely just the growth of sport. People start disliking one sport that they followed, and they'll go to something that they liked or the attributes in the previous sport. So how you said football, we're talking about how football's using VR, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of those people are coming to ice hockey because there isn't that as much. I think that, and also think with, I think it was the first episode we said about this, the Premier deal that one of the teams have got, that's going to bring in fans, just in the sport in general. I'm going to say me. I make people at work listen to my rambling and make them watch highlights. They don't like it, but they have to, so they're viewing it, and I've organised to bring people to the games. I think it is just the fans are so passionate about this sport, and we want people to join and be passionate like us, that we're kind of ramming it down people's throats to get into this sport, because it's a great sport to be, and it really does need more of a fan base.
I think a lot of it is the family friendly aspect to it. You're getting it more in football. Football's definitely opening up to more alternatives and a more family friendly atmosphere. But hockey, you've pretty much got a 50-50 mix of males to females. You've got young kids there. It's inside. It's not against the elements.
It's a price as well. Because because after I do Panthers and with my brother, it's like if we want to go and watch like Forest, you're looking at 110 quid a ticket. Well, for the tickets now, and like even like Mansfield is like 80 to 90 quid now just for one game. Where we could do like half a Panther season for that, or at least a month's worth of games for that.
I think if we look locally as well, I think from the Panthers' perspective, I think we're re-establishing a bit of an identity post-COVID, which is we're getting players that are consistent in seasons. I think Sam Hare started that off, getting a favourite back, and now we're building our own consistency with players that just forges a bit of an identity. I think a lot of older fans are coming back. I'm one of them. I had a bit of hiatus when my son was born, and probably about 5 years players I don't quite recognise, but I've come back to the sport, and I think a lot of my friends that watched way back when, they've come back, as well as an influx of new fans. You're getting those old fans coming back. It's
I mean, I've got a few things on there. The social media presence has increased massively.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Like the TikTok process, so like this is why probably a lot more girls get into it, because like they're definitely big on TikTok and stuff. And so like there's more like the funny videos and all that sort of, and like the podcasts and stuff everything else is doing. It's sort of like all pushing out a bit more.
Yeah.
And it's a sad one, but I think AJ generally helped us because it was in the news. And I think there's a lot of people that are going, oh, we're going to support their fan base stuff because you can see the family aspect of it all. And then like they've done a couple of games that season, and then like last season especially was a massive boom in attendance. So I think although it's a sad matter, I think it generally helps us in some respects because people find out more about the sport and the community around it all.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah,
exposure, I think, is the word. It's definitely given more exposure. There's a lot of people that in my workplace that say, "Oh, you're into hockey. What do you think about that happened?" And there'd never been a conversation before.
It's awful circumstances, but like it's brought the conversation of the sport up. Because like, I remember after COVID that we was getting 2,000 fans at home like every week, every week. And then like last year there was a massive boom, and like after AJ, it's like we started selling out like most weeks. And then like I think last year we had like a record amount of sellouts last year. So obviously there's a few factors like the last year and a half, 2 years that have really boosted the attendance.
And to mention, since you bring AJ up, I really do think that AJ, as the whole situation, really galvanized us as a club, with the players, with the organisation. Everyone felt that, and I think that's created a family feeling to the Nottingham Panthers that I never experienced before.
Yeah, I mean it bonded the fans to the players because like I thought because I'm thinking after COVID and stuff, and I just felt that was getting pushed away. In terms of like the game day stuff, it was just you go to the game and that's it, and they don't really care to give them the money sort of thing. And so like that's what AJ said. I didn't have seen that's the first year in years that I've seen ticket because like I just felt we wasn't appreciated as fans. And then after that, it felt like the players and the fans will won again, and that's sort of also cut into last year, which I think is why the atmosphere got better, and the club wants to do more for the fans because the fans were there for the club. So I think like it's all gone hand in hand because like, they know that without the fans there's no club, and the fans know without the club there's no like community and everything else.
Yeah.
So I think it really boosted like what we're doing now, and the way that the fans are treated now is a lot better than what they were 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. There's one more question. This one we can answer a little bit now, but we'll talk more about it tomorrow when we do our second episode this week. I haven't plugged this at all yet, and it's stupid that I haven't done it. With the guest, with Max, the Manchester commentator. But the question is, how can female fans show support for the game / players without being branded puck bunnies? Now, it's a touchy one. I'm going to answer this because I'm ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. By doing what you're doing now, that was a real. I don't want to say a one-off post or one-off comment, but you don't see that, or I don't, and it may just be because I don't get affected by it. But I personally don't see that out in public on the social media ever, really. I think there was I saw a comment last year once, and everyone just shut that person down. And again with this post, everyone's shutting it down. Everyone's going against it and standing behind the female fans. Just be you. Go there, support the players. Do exactly what you.
I mean, it's the first time something like this has happened, and there's been like a lot of men involved as well in terms of like shutting it all down.
Yeah.
Which like I've really sort of enjoyed the solidarity of like the male and female and stuff because obviously like I know it's 2025 now, but it was only a few years ago where it was common to call them that sort of words in terms of like probably like just after COVID and stuff. So I think it's good now seeing that everyone's banded around it and the clubs have as well. Like every single club's probably saying out saying we're all together.
Yeah.
Which I think has been a brilliant response from the league and the clubs in that process.
Yeah.
Saying that like we all show respect and we're all one.
Yeah, I think I speak for all the men that follow the sport. We want you there. And we don't think that you're there just because you find someone hot or this, that, or the other.
I mean, I find the winner at game days is virtually 50-50 now. If not, there's more women than men nowadays.
Yeah.
I was just walking around. Well, like a couple of years ago, it was like 25% women and then whatever men. But now it's very much like there's a lot more women and children there now. Like in the last couple of years. And I think that like obviously everyone just deserves to be respected in the sport, and I think hockey is one of those sports where they are compared to the other sports.
I'm glad I don't want to say I'm glad that this article thing happened, because it's an awful thing to happen to like people in our team, and really kind-hearted people who do a lot for the club, a lot for the players, without necessarily being, but with being asked and without being asked, like, you know. But that, I think the best thing that's happened is it has galvanized men into protecting. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I come with my mum, I come with my sister. They're not puck bunnies. They're not there. My mum's been watching sport, and not just ice hockey, but sport in general, for longer than, you know, most anyone who's come into Panthers has been alive. Every year she sits down, she watches the Olympics. Every year, every 4 years, she watches the Olympics. She watches Formula One. She watches the rugby. She watches every Diamond League, athletics. She watches it all. She's a massive fan of sports. It's nothing to do with the people, like the attractiveness of the people. You can still find people attractive. Matt Alfaro is a gorgeous man. I'm not gay, but he's a good-looking lad. You can find someone attractive and still go and appreciate the sporting element whilst you're there. And I just think for the women, like Doug said, just go be yourselves. Carry on doing what you're doing, because you've done nothing wrong. The level of support, there are going to be times where people cross a line. And I think as a community, we say, hey, you've crossed that line, you've overstepped. But you do that on a case-by-case basis. You don't lump all these women who are turning up to watch their favorite sport and enjoy themselves, lump them all together, call them all puck bunnies, and kind of, you know, blanket over it as, oh, they just like these good-looking guys. I mean, have you seen half the ice hockey players? They're ugly bastards, we know. They're not there for the looks.
The article kind of took me by surprise. I didn't realize until today that there'd been something said. I'm not on certain social media platforms, and I just it passed me by. It had to be explained to me. But I just get the impression it's a journalist that doesn't have much of a clue, trying to make a
seems like someone
sensation.
who was trying to like uplift the women and then became one of them. If you know what I mean.
But
From what a lot of people have been saying.
it just strikes me as someone thinking, why are all these women going to this sport? Oh, it must be because it's men to look at. I don't know. It's just
I
it
think
just
it's more a
strikes me as
reflection of them and what it is of
that's exactly it. I think it's more a reflection of the journalist's opinion than it is.
Yeah. Why would she
actually
go
occurring.
to it? She
And
thinks in her head, I would only go for an attractive guy. I would only go watch ice hockey because there would be attractive men there, because she doesn't like hockey. Which is fine. You don't have to like hockey, but not every woman is there because they think they're attractive. Just because that's how you think, or that's what you've rationalized in your head of what you would.
Fans that are long term and stuff, and they're telling you these things, and you haven't included any of that, and it's all been about like, and they've just misquoted everything. Then that's where the issue is for me. Because a lot of the women that have spoken out on X have all been like a whole point with the community aspect, and they've said nothing of that. And I think that's the one thing that Aska's got that Nova Sport has got is if you say something in that community, you'll get called out. I mean, you had the incident the other week with the race incident with Glasgow fans, and how everybody handled that, and everyone called everyone out for it. It is the one of those sports where everyone will band together. And like, if something does happen, they'll get called out for it, and then you get forced out of the community sort of thing. Where I don't think, like, especially football, they'll all gang together in football, where in Africa they gang against them. It seems to be like everyone's just one big family. It has been for as long as I've been going.
Yeah, I think it was just a journalist trying to get her bite, the big bite, and get a big story and get recognised and get a name, which unfortunately this may be what she may have wanted, this exact thing. Everyone's talking about it, and her.
And I think that also speaks a little bit about the popularity of ice hockey in this country. Is it getting sort of to that point where people feel that they can kind of piggyback on it?
Yeah, which by the looks of it, yeah. So the sport's growing, or it's an up. I'm not going to say up and coming sport because it's been around forever, but it's growing. It's becoming bigger, so people will take notice of that, and will try and start fires.
And before we move on, though, I do want to back up David's comment about that gorgeous man, Alfaro. I'd just like to make a statement that you can appreciate the Mona Lisa without wanting it to take it home with you.
Yeah.
Very true.
True. I just want to
and
point out.
Alfaro is my Mona Lisa.
I just want to point out that it's not that. I don't know how to word this. It's not like you're watching muscular men or men topless wrestling each other. It's men fully covered with multiple layers. You barely see their face. You barely see anything. I don't know how you could even link it to the attractiveness of the players. Maybe skill. You're attracted to the skill of the players.
It must be
In
the
that
only
case,
sport
yes.
where with that much skin on show, with just nothing on show.
Yeah.
Because like every other sport is like shorts and t-shirt, where our skin there's a little bit of like chin.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We've got a lot of chin kinks here.
Yeah.
Doug, there's theatre of the mind going on here. It's the imagination that runs wild.
Alfaro does have a very
Supposedly.
strong chin.
He does have a strong chin. Strong
Right.
hairline, strong chin, gorgeous man.
I think
Hey, we're sexualizing these players more than anyone.
Yeah.
Me and Chris will do it. Me and Chris will do it for you. Don't even worry about it. We'll sexualize all the players.
Hey, I'm just in it for the stats. Those sexy stats.
Yeah, the sexy stats.
I'm Martin here.
To be fair, he's got a good smile, Marcin. And you
Cheeky
won't kick him
chappy.
out of bed in the morning. Yeah.
Should we move on?
Yeah, because I wrote a bunch of questions, but we'll do that tomorrow because we're getting a bit long on time. Zach, have you got the wheel? Because it's fantasy player of the week. If I get someone good, I don't know if I'm going to be happy or unhappy.
Right.
I'll be unhappy.
So sum this week up. I had an iffy week. In terms of I had a -4 yesterday, but Tim recovered today, to be +3. Christoph with a total of 15 this week with a big 12-point game on the lead. David had a +8 this week, and Doug would have did no one got a 2. I don't know if there's anything else to say about Doug to fair. Especially he got the one defender that got nothing tonight.
Our best goal scoring defenseman, and he got you nothing.
It wasn't even like the aspect of the goals. That's what I find funniest.
Yeah.
So with the total after this third week, Doug is last with 6 points.
Yeah, man.
And I describe it as a Lucas Sheldon role because he's just here for the laugh. David is third with 20. Christoph is second with 28, and I lead with 35.
Wait,
you're
20?
only in the lead because you got chased. That's the only reason you're in the lead.
I didn't know I was that far behind. I thought you'd all be on like 12, maybe 15. I've got to get.
It's that first week last week is the
I'm third.
Because I've had like 2-point weeks basically. So I mean the catch-up is on to fair because Christoph, if he has another good week now, he can easily take me next week. So without further ado, I'll do the first spin, which is for Doug. Obviously.
So this is the spin for which player's not going to score anything this week.
Noel.
Yeah.
Oh,
God damn it!
I
need him.
I like Noel, but I mean, how many has he actually scored?
He's been in the goals though. He's probably not winning his top goals. Well, not top goals for the season. I mean, he's probably in top 5. I'd say so far.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Noel, do your work. Don't just hear this and go, oh, okay, let's keep it going.
Right. Dave's got Alfaro, so I spin again in case he's injured. In case not, I should play him.
Hey, if he's not injured, I want him.
Yeah, but obviously if he is.
If he's injured, that means you get 0 points, mate.
If he's not injured, you get Kelso.
Ah.
So I do. You need to be played in that one.
Come on, Matt. You can do it.
And Christoph comes with Chase, who we know is injured, so we'll spin again.
Yeah, 0 points again.
Yeah. Which gives him a very interesting one in Henbrand.
Yeah. He's scored tonight. A lot of people are predicting that once he gets one, he'll get a few. So he likes those Sheffield games. He likes those Cardiff games.
Those Sheffield games.
Yeah. And I get Zek this week. So again, it could go literally either way, that one. It can have a really good week or a really poor week. It's just one of them, innit? With Cooper.
Okay, yeah. I'm happy with mine again, but then again I'm not, because if the curse is true, Noel's going to do nothing.
Yeah.
But no, okay. Has anyone else got anything else to say?
I wanted to mention that Laco's 1,000th Elite League game tonight, because I'm sure me and Christoph can remember his days at Panthers very fondly. And he played his 1,000th Elite League game in Sheffield tonight after being with us for God knows how many years in the past, and probably at least 600-700 games for us in the in the 2010s. And God knows how many trophies he's won for us as well, because I know he was in the treble team on it, and he's won quite a few cups in that time. So I'm sure you've probably got more to say than I have, but
no, I mean he was a solid, consistent player throughout our, I want to say, glory years throughout the Elite League. He was always a go-to guy for the coach to do the role that was needed. You always need a guy like that on your team if you're looking at winning trophies. If the coach wanted him to play in a scoring role, he was able to step up and do that. He's had some good scoring years. If he wants someone to play a holding role, Lacko will do that. That's what he's been doing in his later years, very, very well. I think there was rumours that he might be coming back to Nottingham over the off season when Nielsen went, and I'd have been very, very happy with that, just to see him probably retire here. Play his last few seasons. Just a consistent big piece of some very good years at Panthers.
Yeah, I thought it's a very good achievement to play that many games in this league, especially like the injuries. He's one of the players who's never seems to be injured. I mean, it's probably one of the quickest to get there. So, especially with like the year out for COVID and stuff, he's still got a good couple of years left in him, so he could potentially break the record, which I'm not quite sure it is, but.
Just a quote that's just struck me from Lacko years ago when he was. He's always had quite a baby face, but I remember him being quite a bit younger when this happened. But he took a big check in a game, and a lot of people were quite furious about the check. And Lacko's response in social media or wherever he spoke was, "Look, I'm on the ice. I'm there to get hit."
Yeah,
I like that. It's very true. I get it. So that's a wrap. A big thanks for tuning in to the Eyes of the Panthers again. Your home for all things black and gold. A massive thanks to Zach the Stats for coming on the show and doing all the edits and everything else. Chris the Case for coming on, rushing home from a busy day of work and dealing with all of that stuff. And David for showing up.
Go on.
My pleasure.
And don't forget, we've got the special bonus episode dropping. We're recording it tomorrow, so probably be out Tuesday.
I'm aiming for Friday.
Friday?
After this one Wednesday, and then that one on Friday for the weekend.
I'll get it. Yeah. So there you go. So keep an eye out on Friday. That episode will have the Manchester Storm commentator, Max Artis. I think that's pronounced right. So any questions for Max, put them in the question section on the Discord.
We're a bit late now, but
yeah, well, they might not. They've got till 7 tomorrow. Oh no, wait, no, they're not going to hear this episode.
Right, if you want to ask a question, go back in time, write it on the Discord, and then we'll answer.
Time machine. But no, you could expect stories.
If there's any future guests you want, send us a message. I'm sure we can fire a few messages off.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I'm sure we'll got the first guest off if they're interested with it.
Definitely. So yeah, if you
know anyone that wants to come on and has a role within the club or whatever, because I'd love to talk to our staff to see like how a game day works and what the different roles are within the club.
Yeah. We could
if anyone that could come on, just let us know or put us in touch with them.
Yeah. Other podcasts, people from other podcasts that have been around for a while, anyone. We're open to anyone being on the show.
It doesn't even have to be Panthers related. It's just someone within the Elite League. So we can have a chat about whatever, or especially if we're playing that team that weekend, we can get them as a guest host or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Except Sims or Brandt.
Yeah. We're not having Sims or Brandt. Definitely not Sims.
Maybe Brandt.
If it is an interview there with Sims, though.
It'd be 4 guys ragging on him, calling him everything under the sun. But yeah, no. So on the next episode with Max, expect stories, banter, and who knows, maybe some secrets that we don't even know about that happens. Hit the follow button, share it with everyone as usual. and keep the roar alive. Until next time, stay loud, stay loyal, and keep your eyes on the Panthers, because we're going places.